Good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News. Here's what we have in the bulletin. Midwives and nurses across the island wore black in protest over unpaid allowances. Hoteliers lament state of the road in resort areas. And later in sports, Reggae Boys and Trinidad battle to a 1-1 draw in second friendly. Thank you for joining us. I'm Kerry-Ann Simpson. Here are the details. Up first this afternoon, midwives, registered and enrolled nurses across the island are wearing black today as a form of protest. The healthcare workers say they are yet to receive retroactive payments for overtime and uniform allowances under the new public sector compensation scheme signed in 2022. In an advisory to members informing them of the planned action, the Jamaica Midwives Association said all attempts to get redress have failed. President of the Jamaica Midwives Association, Sharon Banbury Edwards, told our news center the payments should have started in August 2024.
So for the financial year that passed, we would have signed a memorandum of understanding with the government from 2022, which ends March 31st, 2025. And based on the compensation package, some things would have, agreed on. And the financial year is coming to a close, and we are still not settled where that is concerned. So there are some back money that is owed to us, and that's what we're dissatisfied about. And so today we are wearing black to show our dissatisfaction. It was decided that they would pay us back as far as August of last year. To date, we have not received same.
Mrs. Banbury Edwards says a circular from the Ministry of Finance directed that the outstanding sums should be paid to the midwives.
The regions are the one I think is holding out. So the Ministry of Finance did send directives out for this payment to be made, but to date, nothing.
Opposition spokesman on health, Dr. Alfred Dawes, is calling on the government to address what he says are the deteriorating conditions at the Annotto Bay Hospital in St. Mary. He made the call during a tour of the facility recently.
During a tour of the Annotto Bay Hospital last Monday, Dr. Dawes, along with People's National Party caretaker for Southeast St. Mary, Christopher Brown, met with a senior medical officer at the facility, Dr. Glenton Strachan, who shared that the hospital is woefully understaffed with surgeons. He said the shortage has caused significant delays in essential procedures, leaving many patients on extended waiting lists. Opposition spokesman on health, Dr. Alfred Dawes, expressed disappointment that although the hospital's status has been upgraded, there are many issues that needed to be addressed.
This hospital has been upgraded to a Type B hospital, and yet the services have been cut. There's a perennial issue with staffing shortages, and not much is being done to address this issue right now. We have to move past the point where we are creating this false equivalency that when you see a painted building that is refurbished, it means that you are better off going there as a patient, because this is certainly not the case at Annotto Bay Hospital. And I'm extremely disappointed that this has been allowed to happen to one of the hospitals that really and truly should have been building on a legacy of advanced surgical care.
He says there's an urgent need for a structured plan to restore Annotto Bay Hospital as the leading healthcare facility. And that's not the only issue. The road leading to the hospital is also a major concern. It is why Dr. Dawes is calling for an immediate reassessment of the hospital's needs and an actionable plan to address the crisis before the situation worsens. In the meantime, Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton also toured the facility Thursday and offered this response.
This idea that the hospital upgrade from a C to B is only in name lacks an appropriate appreciation for what is happening at Anoto Bay. And it's important that, I don't know if that information was not provided, but it's important that we bring clarity to it. There is a plan for the upgrade, and that upgrade has commenced. I was there recently on a tour of the brand new pediatric ward. It's an amazing facility, and the doctors and the nurses and the administrative staff who work there were very happy.
Raquel Porto, reporting for TVJ News.
Renewed concerns this afternoon about the condition of the nation's roads, especially those in resort towns. President of the Jamaica Hotel and Tourist Association, Robin Russell, says more aggression is needed to get the roads fixed. Kimberly Petty reports.
While the government recently announced that it will be spending $2 billion to patch roads across the country, there are still complaints about the condition of thoroughfares in parishes like Westmoreland and St. James, particularly in areas frequented by tourists. President of the Jamaica Hotel and Tourist Association, Robin Russell, believes more can be done to improve the state of those roads.
Infrastructure is most important when people traverse your country, whether it's roads, whether it's hospitals, whether it's water, whether it's electricity. You know, you're expected to offer a first world service. Right now, our roads are in need of repair, especially between Mo Bay and Negril and Montego Bay and Sav over those hills.
Mr. Russell told TVJ News that while he is aware that the government is currently undertaking roadwork projects, he was hoping that the roads would have been ready ahead of the tourism season. The winter tourist season opened on December 15 and runs until April 15.
I recently drove to Negril and I saw, a lot of patching going on, but I still think there needs to be more aggression in getting these potholes fixed, because it not only affects tourists, but it affects our staff getting to and from work. It affects the taxi drivers, which then raise bus fares, taxi fares, and it adversely affects everyone.
He went further.
So this is just an appeal to continue the hard work and really, really put the effort in fixing the major thoroughfares that drive tourism.
Meanwhile, Community Relations Officer for the NAA's Western Region, Janelle Rickick, says since last December, the agency has undertaken a raft of patching projects in Western Jamaica under the Relief Emergency Assistance and Community Help REACH program.
Since December, we have really ramped up our efforts to repair several roadways across the region. We are currently undertaking a $500 million program, which falls under the $2 billion island-wide REACH program, which targets roadways that have been severely impacted by the passage of the Hurricane Beryl.
She noted that marked improvements can be seen along the Montego Bay to Great River to Lucy to Green Island, as well as Savannah Lamar to Negril Road networks. Kimberly Petty for TVJ News.
It has only been a few days since the reintroduction of the Jamaica Urban Transit Company JUTC's bus service in Maypen, Clarendon, but frustration is already mounting among taxi operators in the parish. Alan Blair, president of the Maypen Taxi Operating Association, says while he welcomes a service for students in the parish, the state-owned bus service is competing with taxi operators and affecting their livelihood.
They are taking up adults. My information from operators is that they stop along the way and pick up passengers outside of the school children. And that is affecting the income of our operators. And so that is a concern that they have, because the bus is cheaper, and so it cuts into their daily income and profit.
Meanwhile, Frederick Bryan, president of the Veer Taxi Association, claims that the JUTC drivers are not adhering to the established road use guidelines.
Operators are crying foul because the JUTC buses, they stop anywhere, anytime, anyhow, and they are not ticketed, they are not punished for their actions. While for taxi, just pause to pick up a passenger, they'll be ticketed. So that is unfair also, and they are crying forward. Because the government, the yellow buses are government buses. And, you know, they operate their floats, they do anything they want to do.
The JUTC's MAPEN service was initially introduced in 2017 through a partnership with the Ministry of Education to accommodate students in the area. The St. Mary police are investigating the murder of a man along the Springhead Main Road in Aracabessa early Sunday morning. TVJ News understands that approximately 3:50 a.m. the man attended a round-robin party where he received an undetermined payout. He was walking home with a female companion when they were ambushed by unknown assailants. It's further understood that the attackers demanded the money, but he refused. He was shot several times in the head and upper body. The female escaped unharmed. Now, anyone with information that can assist the police is urged to contact the St. Mary's CIB at 876-994-4222, Crime Stop at 311, or the nearest police station. It's time for a break. Stay with us. More local stories when we return. Welcome back to the Midday News. A St. Elizabeth man died in a single motor vehicle accident on the Braze River Main Road Sunday. He has been identified as 27-year-old Devoni Samuel of a Bogue district address in the parish. According to reports, Mr. Samuel and his father were driving along the roadway when he lost control and crashed into a light pole. He received several injuries and was rushed to hospital where he was pronounced dead. To a TVJ News follow-up, vendors in Santa Cruz, St. Elizabeth yesterday removed their stalls from a section of the facility in keeping with the deadline issued by the municipal corporation. The corporation says the area will be refurbished into a car park. Now, despite complying, some vendors remain upset at the proposed relocation and what they say is the lack of consultation.
Just barely drew, and look at it. So imagine when the rain start fall, they promise us that they're going to fix around here and put us. Look around here. It is not safe. This is not secure. They put us here before and people have to move because a lot of robbery and looting was going on. Look at the place. It is not secure and safe around here for us as a vendor.
No, I don't feel good about it. We feel down. We feel unrespected in this kind of way. Not even this time we blow and gone 2 times. The place never look like this.
This has cost me more than 300,000 to start out and plus styling. You see what I mean?
I know how much it costs.
No, it can rough up more than 400,000 to put back tile and workmanship and material again. You see what I mean? So who going in back on Monday?
Chairman of the Health Committee of the Manchester Municipal Corporation and Councillor for the Belfield Division, Mario Mitchell, is seeking the intervention of the Society of Cruelty to Animals as well as central government to address several concerns.
Number of citizens have reached out to us as the councillors about the homelessness and the so-called people of unsound mind in the town of Mandeville. The population seems to be increasing, and there are some concerns about the mental capacity of the persons. Some of the persons at times become violent. I've gotten complaints from parents of students from schools across Mandeville itself, where some of the men and women have attacked students, they have attacked women, they have attacked the elderly.
He said the issue of stray dogs is also a major concern.
Some of these homeless persons have a few dogs and the dogs have multiplied. And so we are very concerned about that.
Mr. Mitchell says the corporation's hands are tied in its desire to address the issues. It's why he's calling on central government to intervene.
The council have reached out to the society, as we said, but we're not getting nowhere. And we're seeking to have some intervention from central government. We know the laws are a little bit where we cannot hold these persons for long, or we cannot act in the way that we want to. So we're asking the government to put some effort and assist the councils where we can have a national intervention of persons with unsound mind and homelessness.
It's now time for the Business Minute.
TTEC has announced its plans to delist from the Jamaica Stock Exchange. This follows the completion of its recent takeover offer by Simply Secure. The company no longer meets the JC's listing requirements and has moved forward with the necessary procedures to exit the market. According to a resolution passed by the Board of Directors, the application for delisting is in accordance with Junior Market Rule 505-14B. The company has formally submitted its request to the JSE and the process is now underway. The delisting is expected to take effect no later than Friday, February 28. TTEC was first listed on the Jamaica Stock Exchange on January 7, 2016 on the junior market, becoming the first information technology company in Jamaica to do so. Now further afield, the U.S. government's headquarters for the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau is closing down this week. Bureau employees were abruptly informed Sunday afternoon that the watchdog agency's Washington, D.C. headquarters will not be open for the week. Workers and contractors were instructed to work remotely. No reason was stated for the sudden closure. But the move comes days after Elon Musk tweeted out CFPB RIP with a tombstone emoji. And that's it for the Business Minute. I'm Nakinsky Robinson.
Time now for the top regional and international stories.
In the region, Trinidad and Tobago's acting police commissioner Juna Benjamin says the investigation into the suspension of embattled top cop Erla Harewood Christopher will remain fair. This despite allegations from Sergeant Matthew Haywood, the lead investigator, that a senior officer tried to influence the case. Benjamin, however, insists the investigation will follow DPP guidance and proper protocol. Harewood Christopher is being probed for her involvement in procuring sniper rifles for the SSA. She is challenging her suspension in court. On the international scene, U.S. President Donald Trump announced 25% tariffs on steel and aluminum imports to boost U.S. producers, but it could raise prices for consumers. China retaliated with tariffs on U.S. goods like coal and oil. Economists warn of inflation. The U.S. paused tariffs on Chinese imports under $800 while developing a tracking system. And those were the top regional and international stories. I'm Anthony Atkinson, TVJ News.
Thanks, Antonia. And we head to another break. When we come back, we'll have your midday sports report.